Playing tall is coming back to Civilization. Let's take a look at how Civ 7 is going to achieve this, starting with towns. The devs have referenced towns as support hubs for cities, which I think is a very accurate way of describing their role in Civ 7. In the game, players will start with a founder unit, which is used to found the capital city, but after this, future settler units found towns rather than cities. So towns have a few key features. Just like cities, towns give you access to the yields around them and are a way of expanding your territory. In contrast to cities, towns cannot build units and buildings like a city can. Instead, a town's production is converted to gold which a town can use to purchase a smaller selection of buildings and units. Gold can also be used to convert a town to a city. And finally, there are several town focuses available throughout the game, allowing a town to excel in a certain area, such as making your town a farming town, which gives bonus food, or a mining town, which gives bonus production. These specialties become available once a town has reached a population threshold. Compared to cities, towns will require less management, which should free up more of your energy to be spent on the smaller number, yet larger in size, cities which they will be supporting. The final thing to remember with towns is that as every settler unit founds a town in Civ 7 rather than a city, the same rule does apply in the distant lands, the new lands which become explorable at the start of the exploration age. This means that your first settlements in the new lands also start as towns and link to your existing cities. It seems that a good portion of you are really looking forward to playing tall in Civ 7, so I'm going to guess that this next feature, arguably the biggest contributor to the return of tall playing Civ 7, is a popular one. Specialists are going to be very powerful in Civ 7. To give you a taste of how powerful, the Exploration Age Legacy Path objective for Science is to have 5 districts that are not the city centre with a total of 40 yield. Under normal circumstances, yields that big for a single tile would not have been possible in Civ 6, but in large part due to the introduction of specialists, by the end of the Exploration Age, this could be a fairly common occurrence. Single tiles with 40 total yield could happen a lot. So here's how specialists work. Allocating a new population to an already placed urban district creates a specialist. Essentially what we're doing is we're stacking additional population onto one tile to take the yields of that tile to another level. Specialists provide a bonus of science and culture yields whilst consuming food and happiness. Specialists amplify the adjacency bonuses of an urban district. With only buildings from the current age giving adjacency bonuses, players will want to replace buildings from a previous age with buildings from the current one, particularly where the specialists are placed. And the final point for specialists is that the number of them that can be placed on a tile is actually capped. In the Antiquity Age this is 1, but the cap will increase by the end of the Exploration Age. What do you think to the return of specialists in Civ 7? Are you as excited as I think a lot of you will be? Let's have a chat in the comments about it. If the introduction of specialists is the carrot to make you want to play tall, the settlement cap is the stick. Civilization 7 is introducing a soft settlement cap which penalises players for going over a certain number of settlements. There are plenty of ways to increase this settlement cap across the game, such as through policies, leader attributes, and civilizations. For example, the expansionist pair of Augustus and Rome will give players plenty of opportunities to increase their settlement limit when compared to the average civ. The penalties occurred for breaching the cap are significant, with both your civilization's local and global happiness hampered. But what is local and global happiness in Civ 7? Local happiness is required to support specialists and maintain buildings within your cities and towns. If people aren't happy, you can bet that your yields are going to suffer. Global happiness accumulates across your empire and it triggers celebrations, which are special events that provide powerful buffs in addition to slots for traditions and social policies. Perhaps occasionally exceeding the cap won't do too much harm, but consistently and significantly breaching the settlement cap will harm the growth and prosperity of your civilization. So it may be worth thinking twice about playing too wide and settlement spamming in Civ 7. Now this next point is one that I am actually really interested to hear whether you agree with me or not, because I think the introduction of warehouse buildings is another feature that will make playing tall more viable and also another of Civ 7's intriguing new elements. So what do they do? Well, warehouse buildings give bonuses to all of a certain type of improvement in a settlement. Here are a few examples from the Antiquity Age. The granary building gives farms, plantations and pastures in the same settlement +1 food. The saw pit gives woodcutters and camps +1 production. For the fishing key, fishing boats get +1 food, and the brickyard gives +1 production to clay pits, quarries and mines. An element of specialisation for your settlements, depending on the makeup of the surrounding resources, is therefore going to be beneficial for your empire. As warehouse buildings give settlement-wide bonuses, larger settlements with more improvements will naturally make better use of them, and that's where I think these buildings could be another feature that encourages tall play in Civ 7. Since being dumped by the series for Civ 6, tall play has been relentlessly working in the gym, and in one of the comebacks of recent times, promises to win Civ players back for Civ 7. Now you can watch more Civ content coupled with weird analogies that just float into my head and I feel I should share them by watching the video on screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching this one today and I'll catch you soon.